Hey, good morning, family. Reginald Martin here of Cometic Centered Living, where ancient wisdom meets modern awakening. I want to answer a question that one of our community members asked that I thought was really profound, and just give you some context with this idea. And the question that they asked was, when it comes to manifesting, should I be obsessed with manifesting? Okay. And this is one of those answers. It would take too much to try to answer it in the comments. Okay, there's just sometimes these answers. It might seem like a simple yes, but it's not. And that particular question, there's some nuance to it. And I want to answer this question in a way that helps you to become a scientist, because any of my content, that I do is not just giving you answers that you can just take and just go off of. It's helping you to become a scientist, where you're learning the principles. Okay, so in this context of that question, do I become obsessed? We have to understand the philosophical foundation of this knowledge. Okay, of this, the ancient Kemetic stuff. Spawned the law of attraction, Christianity, all the religions, okay? But the philosophical foundation helps you to understand how to proceed scientifically, okay? And when I say scientifically, it means that it's something that you can repeat. There's things that there's certain processes and actions that you can do and repeat. Okay, so stay with me here, and first I want to first build a foundation of knowledge and then answer that question. All right, so the first part of it is just understanding the idea of oneness. And I know, in a lot of spiritual circles and stuff like that, we talk about, being one with everything and oneness and, and blah, blah, blah. And man, it's a wonderful thing, okay? But what does that mean practically? And I want to connect the dot practically here, and this is where that nuance is going to come in. So, from the ancient perspective, there is only one source of everything in the universe. And philosophically, believe me, people have thought about these ideas for thousands of years, and what I'm teaching is what they settled on as far as developing the spiritual systems and stuff like that. So when we talk about oneness, their idea is that that one source, if it split itself, then all of a sudden you had two sources. So that cannot be if all things are one, if all things are one, come from one source. Okay, so it couldn't divide. All right, so how then could the universe and everything be created? And understand that they anthropomorphized these ideas, and I talk about that in my Esoteric Adept course, where the difference between humanization and anthropomorphization. Okay, easy for me to say. Anthropomorphized. All right. So humanization is, God sees you, God is looking down on you, God is going to get angry with you, blah, blah, blah. In other words, we make God angry, an angry being like a human. So we humanize it. But the ancients didn't humanize, they anthropomorphized. And the difference is that anthropomorphization actually used a human trait or characteristic to help you understand the metaphysical or abstract idea. Okay, all right, so humanization was saying God is like a human, and Anthropomorphizing meant this is what the universe, this is how the universe functions, and you can use this as an analogy, okay? So it used a close approximation to help you understand the abstract concept, because it could just, get out of hand. You're just like, I don't understand that. But if you say, oh, it's like that, and any teacher knows that in order to help a student learn a new concept, it helps invariably to connect them back to their to some experience that they've had that is similar to it, okay? The ancients knew that too, okay? That's what they were doing. That what they did then, so the idea that there could only be one source, how would that source, if it didn't divide to create things, how did it create? Well, family, the ancients came to the idea that everything that is in the universe is from the one source, but it is from the mind of that source, okay? And again, I'm anthropomorphizing. I am not humanizing. So they were giving you an idea of how we can connect and understand how creations happen, okay? So in our mind, in our inner state of being, the universe and everything else from it was manifested. So that kept everything from one source. Hey family, quick addendum on the idea of oneness and this, the idea that the universe is created from the mind of God, okay? That is the principle of mentalism, okay? And I know a lot of you guys, y'all mentioned the Kabbalion and stuff, but the idea of mentalism, that all is mind, meaning that all is from the mind of God. And again, this is not to humanize God, because God is not a human being, okay? It supersedes all of anything that we could experience in the physical. We can't know what that is, okay? But it is a mental universe, and just as we have the ability to create, just as God created from within its mind, we create from within our mind. And I'll say again, I said this before, there is nothing that mankind has created that was not first in its mind. And it's the same for what we call God, okay? This is a mental universe, and you have the ability to create. You are one. Everything that is possible already exists, okay? You just have to actualize it by becoming it. All right, family? All right, I'm headed up this hill. So I'm gonna cut this out, and I will talk at y'all later, okay? Okay, so I'm leading to the question of should we be obsessed with manifesting, because I'm gonna make a distinction here for you, okay? That's where I'm going with this. So if everything is mind and everything is from that source, then that is the only way that something can still maintain its connection to the oneness. So that's where the idea that we were taught as Christians, like we were born in sin and wicked and all that stuff. From that perspective, you have to think that if we are one with the source, then the source has to be wicked too, okay? And the angels were like, they would have been like, no, that can't be, all is good, all is God. God is good, God good, okay? There's an etymological connection there, okay? But everything has when we're talking about duality, everything has its opposite, okay? So what's good in our aspect of reality can also have something bad, okay? Just a simple explanation of that idea. Now, let's get into the idea of obsession, okay? And should we be obsessed with manifesting? And this also is going to link to the idea of being, okay? Because if there is only one and we are all connected, everything is connected, then we are the source, or at least we have the ability of the source to create from our mind just like the source does. But this is what happens with us, is that a lot of times, family, we're taught that what's in our mind is not real, okay? What we can sense through our taste, touch, smell, sight, and hearing, that's what's real, okay? But this is what that does for you, is that when you end up thinking that reality is out here and not in here, you create a duality, okay? All right? You create two opposites. They're not the same thing, okay? Or they're the same thing, but you're experiencing them in opposite ways, okay? But that thing is what it is, okay? So in that sense, if you think of visualizing and manifesting what you're visualizing, and your underlying belief is, oh, I'm obsessed with visualizing this because I don't have it. Family, you created your block, all right? This is the nuance I'm getting into, family. This is the science of it. And trust me, I have to laugh at myself sometimes because, family, I have been inside this and outside this so many times, it ain't even funny, okay? But when you think of it being something different than in your possession or something different than what you are already, you created your separation, okay? And this is something I get into definitely in my Metaphysics course and talking about ma'at, and really going, instead of going into the idea of attraction, really talking about merging, okay, and becoming, and going a lot deeper into these ideas, because it ends up being our language causes us to separate. I'm walking past this dog here. He's checking me out. But anyway, he's on the trail a lot of times, so you know, I kind of have to be. I'm a little bit leery of dogs a lot of times. But anyway, but he seems like he's friendly. So, but at any rate, family. So if you think in terms of your obsession as possessing it, as in the context you don't have it, then that obsession can become a block for you, okay? And again, understand this goes back to oneness, okay? To the idea of oneness, family. So if you are one with everything, then there is nothing that you are not, okay? You are the creator experiencing itself as something different, okay? Every one of us. But we have the ability, of course, to realize or actualize something into our reality, to manifest it. But in order to manifest it, you have to become it, okay? You have to be it. And if you think your imagination is not real, then you automatically create a separation from it. All right, family? So I hope I'm making sense here. And please let me know in the comments. Give me a little feedback. Let me know if that's making sense for you or not. And it is really, but this is a distinction that we have to go above and beyond what the law of attraction taught, because the law of attraction on some level, for most of us, when we first got introduced to it, we thought of it as something in the context of something outside ourselves, okay? We were trying to attract it to us, all right? But to make it more metaphysically congruent, understand you're not attracting anything. You're becoming something, okay? You're becoming that thing. Whatever it is that is possible, and this is where it connects back to a lot of the other things I was saying, like, you know, jumping timelines, that everything in the exists in the now, you know, all of that. These all connect. These dots all connect, and you can be consistent in your practice. And I do say practice because we ain't talking about an event. You're not going to manifest something with an event. All right. In other words, it's just a one-time thing. You know how it was on when we were Christian, man. We go to church on Sunday or whatever day you went, and hoop and holler. You know, the choir jazz you up and just everything. And then on Monday, go back to doing the same doggone thing that you did the week before, the year before, 5 years before. Okay, nothing changed. All right. So that mindset, that religious mindset of there being this, what we're doing is something different than living life, family, then will do something, we'll put it down because we see it as we got to live our life. And I don't know how many times I talk to people who, you know, tell me, yeah, well, you know, I hadn't been, you know, doing this, or I hadn't completed the course because, you know, this stuff was happening in my life, and, you know, just different things. And I'm thinking to myself, it's like, you know, this is the stuff that's going to help you through life. You know, this is the stuff you have to learn to really get through what you're dealing with, or to change your circumstances. So when we're talking about, again, I want to build your knowledge based on the foundational principles. It's grounded in something. And again, that's just for me, family. It just has to make sense for me like that. I can't, even when, you know, somebody said in the law of attraction, thoughts become things. I knew deep down that was right. You know, I knew, I just felt that was right. It literally confirmed something that I had thought for years. You know, I don't know if any of y'all ever been Amway distributors. Man, I was an Amway distributor back in the 90s. Man, I went hard. Spinning them circles. Oh, selling that soap. But something that I learned while I was an Amway distributor was the idea of dream building, and the idea of really tapping into tapping into that visualization. And it was such a powerful practice because I understood from that how thoughts become things, because you just have things that you be like trying, a goal that you're trying to reach. And man, and you had to like really focus on that goal, you know? So that, just from that, being in that particular business, it really started to help me understand the power of the mind, you know? So that's the same with this stuff, fam. It's just, sometimes we have to learn when we've been stopped at one level of knowledge, then it's time to learn more. It's time to get something that can reframe a lot of these ideas for you. And that's what I hope that I can help you do here, and to make it make sense, where I'm helping you connect the dots, you know, to a lot of this, all right? So it's really an amazing thing. But what I hope I've helped you do here is to help you understand oneness is not just a spiritual, oh, I'm so spiritual, you know. It's not that. That is oneness, but it's practical too, because you have to become one with what you desire. And I'm going to say that in another way. You have to be what you desire. And when you are able to be it, you actualize it into your reality. All right. There's always this delay, family. It's just, that's how the mechanism of our mind and creating it in our reality works. There's always a delay. And it is in that delay that the idea of faith comes in, okay? Not religious faith, where you just believe, whatever, this absurd stuff, Faith as a bridge to your manifestation, okay? So all of that, again, family, it's like connecting dots, to this knowledge and information. And it's not just, it's about becoming a scientist of your journey, okay? Where you are practicing this knowledge. It is a daily practice. It's not something you just pick up when you think about it. It becomes such a part of you, family, that it's just something that you are doing. You live it, okay? It's not, to me, it goes beyond a practice. It just becomes a part of life. That's what this Cometic and Metaphysics helps you do, is that it just, the metaphysical aspect helps improve life, okay? Helps you create life. That's the idea. Not just to learn some nice, quotes and whatever, which is cool. I like good quotes, but it's about really becoming, okay? What are you becoming? And becoming is a process that never stops. That's why it is so profound to find joy in becoming, to find joy in the evolution of you, all right? That's why it is so important that you love you. Love how you're evolving, okay? Doesn't mean everything is perfect and great, but the journey you can enjoy as much as you can. All right, family? All right, family, I'm gonna continue on my walk. You guys have an amazing day, and I will see y'all later. Reginald Martin, out.